Say you're Polaris, and you build and sell more side-by-sides in more variations than all of your competitors. And say you have brought more innovations to the market than all of your competitors combined. Is it conceivable that you could innovate another new model that would have such a profound effect on the industry? On this week's test ride, we're going to take an up-close look at Polaris's Ranger 500 EFI. It is wildly popular and incredibly versatile, so we're going to try and answer some of those questions for you. While John Deere might claim they were the first in the side-by-side business, there's little doubt Polaris' late 90s intro of the original 6x6 Ranger was the machine which popularized and defined the side-by-side off-road vehicle for the masses. Polaris has had a unique focus on the side-by-side biz by not entrenching themselves in just one segment, but rather breaking new segments, the way the Pure Sport Razor series has. We think this new, slightly smaller Ranger utility side-by-side actually carves out another segment in this rapidly expanding and rapidly changing side-by-side industry. The Ranger 500 EFI shares its bodywork and platform with the wildly popular Ranger 400. Up front, there's Polaris's tough and durable IFS, and in the back, there's Polaris's plush and smooth IRS. There is also a tilting dump box and a powerful 500 EFI motor, all in a package that's just this much smaller than the Ranger XP 800. This allows the Ranger 500 EFI to fit in the box of a full-size pickup truck. It also makes it fit in places that previously only ATVs could go. There's more here than just fitting into things. The Ranger 500 EFI has Polaris full-on unlocking rear diff with turf mode, something no side-by-side should be without. It also features load-carrying capacity that is frankly just stupid. This smaller Ranger can carry 500 pounds in its cargo box and tow up to 1,250 pounds. So maybe you're thinking, what's the downside with a slightly smaller Ranger? Yeah, us too. In fact, we're huge fans of the full-size Ranger XP 800. It is, in our opinion, the best utility side-by-side in the industry. However, it can hold its own against some pretty impressive sport utility side-by-sides on recreational trails. Here's the confounding reality with the Ranger 500 EFI. It is a truly fun and capable recreational side-by-side as well. When we first rode this downsized Ranger, we scratched our collective helmets here at Dirt Trax. Why? Because this is not just a capable side-by-side, it is a profoundly capable vehicle that can work hard, plow snow, tow heavy trailers, and still go out and provide smiles on a rough recreational trail. The 500 EFI is so versatile, it frankly defies reason. So why would anyone shop some of the low-quality Pacific Rim side-by-sides that are in the market right now, when for ridiculously low jing, they can have a full-on Polaris Ranger that rides smooth, works hard, is built tough, and will last for years? And oh yeah, it performs oh so close to its big brother, the Ranger XP 800. The answer here is this: you cannot effectively rationalize the value factor on this side-by-side until you drive it. It represents such good value, it's no wonder Polaris literally cannot build them fast enough. So what's the real difference between the 400 Ranger and this 500 EFI variant? It's about two things. First, the 400 engine, actually a 455, and the 500 come straight out of Polaris's Sportsman Series ATVs. This 4-valve engine is the most popular motor in the history of the sport. Polaris has built and sold over 1 million of these motors. And secondly, the 500 version uses electronic fuel injection. The 500 engine does produce marginally more torque and horsepower than the 400. However, the stake is in the EFI system. If you're using your Ranger to plow snow in the winter, just go for the 500 EFI. Its chokeless cold weather operation makes cold starts and warm-ups a brainless event. Similarly, if you're operating in extreme heat and/or altitude, the 500 EFI is the only way to go to preserve sharp throttle response and clean pulling power when it's hot. Rarely does a vehicle come along in the off-road industry which hits the nail as squarely on the head as this Ranger 500 EFI. This is not just a good or a great vehicle. After hours of intensive use, or should I say after hours of intensive abuse around here, we conclude this is a truly exceptional vehicle, which after owning for just a few short weeks, you will conclude is irreplaceable.